Welcome back, my friends. So, a few months ago I purchased this old Consul terminal keyboard that comes from 1980s. And as you can see, it had pretty terrible overall condition, including some rust damage and bottom cover also missing, and I had no idea whether it's actually functional or not. So I decided to bring it back to its initial factory look as much as possible, and then also to try just to power it up to check if it's alive. Before we continue, like this video and subscribe to my channel. I have a lot of equipment to show you in the future. More likes means more food for my cat. It took a few months to find the missing part, and also I made a chemical brighting of the yellowed buttons that took an extra week, but that's how it looks now. This keyboard is not for a regular computer, but for a Soviet mainframe terminal. From the 1970s, Soviet Union made a decision to turn its computer industry to cloning of the IBM computers. And generally this meant copying of architecture, while technical implementation was local on a local element base. And while the main part of hardware was generally produced in the USSR, various peripherals were often made in Bulgaria, DDR, Poland or Czechoslovakia. This very keyboard was produced at the Zbrojovka-Brno factory in Czechoslovakia under the brand Consul that they also used, for instance, for typewriters. However, in the shared namespace of Soviet mainframes it was called like this. This YES stands for Единая система in Russian language, or it means Unified System of Computers of Socialistic Countries. Here is a booklet about one of Ukrainian data centers from 1980s, and you can see here these keyboards in action together with YES 7927 display terminals connected to a large mainframe. The keyboard has a fully metal casing which gives it around 3 kilograms of weight, and it's actually pretty high, so you would need to hold your hands in not very convenient way while typing. Nowadays we all are used to QWERTY keyboard layouts, but Soviets used a different one, Yitsuken, that was literally a transliteration of Cyrillic letters to Latin. On the left we have functional buttons to clear the screen or the input line or to start the test. There is a separate blue button marked Enter, because on the terminals Enter means literally to send data to the mainframe, not just the line return. And on the right there are functional buttons. The buttons are pressing pretty soft because they are based on the Czech Hall effect switches that had quite good quality. And apart from small Soviet logic chips, all hardware is also Czechoslovak made. And now let's try to power it up just to check if it is actually alive. So I needed to solder a 25 wires ribbon cable back, and since it consumes just 5 volts, I can use a standard power supply for a breadboard. Okay, so if I press SB functional button, we have a corresponding LED reacting, and if I press the reset button, we can hear a beep. In fact now, just with the connected power, it can beep on random buttons because a clock signal is missing. Now I'm thinking that maybe in the future I will try to connect it even to the modern computer, because the keyboard, as far as I remember, gives 8-bit signal. So if you use something like Arduino Leonardo and to provide a clock signal and processing of the key presses, it's actually possible to interpret its signals and connect it to a computer via USB. So maybe I will do it in the future. So thank you for watching, subscribe to my channel to see more unusual devices I'm going to show you in the future.